that the quorum be rescinded.
With.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, when President Obama was sworn into office, the nation's average price for a gallon of gasoline was under $2. We all know that that is not the case today. In most parts of the country, gas remains well over $3 a gallon. In my home state of Arkansas, the price of gas ranges anywhere from just under $3 to $3.50 a gallon. The only reason that it's staying at a steady price is because there is decreased demand because of the poor economy. Business owners will tell you that when the price of gas hits $3.50 a gallon, it truly does affect how decisions are made. When it hits the $4 mark, things really start to shut down in terms of the economy because the average person's disposable income is going to the gas pump instead of local businesses. That is our country at this time lacks an energy policy. We're also facing a jobs crisis of enormous magnitude, and our president is standing in the way of one project that can help address both of these problems, the Keystone XL pipeline. The proposed 1,700-mile pipeline would transport 700,000 barrels of oil per day from Canada to the United States refineries on the Gulf Coast. Canada's oil sands are among the largest oil reserves in the world. As a global demand for oil surges and Canada increases production, the addition of the Keystone pipeline will ensure that Americans benefit from reliable and secure oil from our largest trading partner and trusted ally. The $7 billion cost to be paid by the Keystone Consortium will fund nearly $500 million in salaries. It will result in the purchase of $6.5 billion worth of materials, services, and other local economic activity. None of this with any federal money. It is a no-brainer. Some of these jobs are in my home state of Arkansas. Wellspun Tubular Company, which makes pipes for the oil industry, has been producing pipe for the Keystone project. Unfortunately, due to the administration's delay on Keystone, the company has already begun to lay off workers in Little Rock. They have 500 miles of pipe that was produced for the project, ready to go, that's just sitting in the facility. Postponing the start of the project is putting more Americans out of work instead of putting Americans to work. Delaying this project costs thousands of well-paying jobs when Americans need reliable employment, and it hurts Arkansas businesses that have invested millions of dollars to help produce the pipeline. It's also a major step backwards for energy policy goals, reducing our dependence on oil from unstable regimes. When it comes to energy policy, I'm kind of a T. Boone Pickens guy. I firmly believe that if it's American, we need to be using it. This goes for not only the renewable forms of energy, but the vast amount of fossil fuels that we've been blessed with throughout the United States and directly off our shores. If we use what we have here in a responsible manner, we can be better positioned to pick and choose who we import our remaining oil needs from. Importing oil from Canada will accelerate America's independence for overseas oil by increasing petroleum trade with one of our most reliable allies, one of our most reliable friends, instead of depending on the likes of Saudi Arabia and hostile regimes like Venezuela for much of our oil. The amount of oil provided through this project is equal to half the amount we import from the Middle East. I doubt that anyone in this body would argue that any of the countries that we import oil from in that region are more stable than Canada. President Obama needs to quit pandering to the radical environmentalists. He needs to do what is best for the country, not what he perceives as best for his reelection. The Keystone Pipeline is what is best for America. Let's move forward with it. Mr. President, I note the absence of a quorum.